Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers mod showcase video. In today's video, we're looking at something very simple but very useful, and it's called the GridPickupMod. So what this mod does is allow you to pick up very small little grids by walking up to them and pressing F, and then you can tether them across to wherever they need to go. This saves you from switching to your grinder and having to grind up little things that accidentally fell on the floor, and it also makes scrapping ships a lot easier because you can just drag stuff into a grinder like I just did right there. So once you've added this in through your mod menu, that is all you need to do. Once you load your game, you are now ready to move blocks around. So let's say we had a small little accident on the starting base, which is completely made out of wood. So there we go, we just had a little accident, and now there is a bunch of debris all around us, conveniently all in this location. So we can now walk up to this, press F, and we can move a small thruster. As you can notice, it's not as good as the little tiny block that we moved just a second ago. That is because there is a weight limit with what you can carry. If I just switch that on for the moment so that I can just go and start grinding everything up. There we go. We can now come across to this right here. So this is one we done first of all. It's a small little block, and we can swing this around as much as we want and send it flying. That's because the small steel block is super light. We then come across over to a large or a regular sized steel block and try to do the same. Pressing F, we're not getting any response out of this because this block is simply too heavy for you to carry, and it does make sense when you look at the character compared to the block. But we can move the cockpit. So if we angle ourselves correctly so we don't accidentally get into it, we can just about drag a small cockpit around and, well, go into grinder. For button panels, no we cannot. For gyroscopes, no we cannot. For a couch, we'll need to have an extra person help us, but in general, we cannot. But small warheads, yes we can. Small warheads are extremely light, and we can just fling them around to other people and give them a bad time. And yes, I did say a small accident. So that is what the mod does. If I was to come over here and hopefully find a small wreckage, here we go, this is what I was after. We can just come over to here and start moving it around. So this small block little cockpit with a gyroscope or reactors on it, I couldn't really see the back. We can just drag this around. Oh, we got too far away, now it's fallen down. If I activate my jetpack, move all the way down, scrap it by the conveyor at the back there, we can just about lift it off the ground and move it to where it needs to go. It's such a useful little mod, but you can see that if it is a little bit heavy and you try to violently swing it around, it will disconnect itself. But as I was saying, it's a very useful little mod to have around, especially when we have a small accident, and that is refusing to come with me. There we go, we'll do it nice and slowly. So up we go, we've still got our little wire, and we're just going to drag it over to our grinding pit, nice and slowly. There we are, there is no animation with the hand. We just come out of our, I believe it's out of our head. Yes, we are carrying this with our head, but it doesn't really matter. It is quite nice to see the end of the rope when you're moving this around, just in case it does disconnect, and you need to see it disconnecting. If I just drag this all the way over to the grinding pit, then we'll go find something else that we can drag around. Yes, I saw this on the workshop page and I have tested it out in my own little survival game, and whoosh, nifty little thing. And we can come back over to here, see if there's anything else we can drag around. There are a few small little blocks there. We've got our landing gear that we can just fling around. We got a connector that we can fling around. There we go. Oh, that is quite a heavy thing. We can come over to our small thruster, and so on and so forth. For most of the things, we won't be able to move them manually, so these large warheads over here, we can't move them. They are simply too heavy compared to us. Coming over here to these wreckages of some larger blocks, can't do anything with any of these. But we can come all the way over to here, find ourselves a nice little clearing, and I'll spawn in a few more little things. Of course, you can't pick up the small items on the ground because they will just go straight into inventory. It is mainly for these small block grids. So finding something in here which is small and large, so we'll find a heavy armored block, just dump a large one right there, and we can then go and dump a small one over to here. Large one, of course, can't be moved. This small one we can do, and it's just a little bit heavier than the regular steel block. Going back into here and finding a 1x1 wheel. Let's just go and spawn you over to here, and then we can spawn a small one. There we are. The large wheel we can fling around, And the small one, of course we can. If we were to ramp that up for a bit of a larger wheel, in fact that's the suspension, we want to have the 3x3 wheel. There we go, there is the large one. And then we can go for a smaller one, like so. Can we move these around the wheel? Nope. And this one we cannot. So the developer has put in a lot of thought into this mod, what you can and what you cannot move. But general rule of thumb is, if it's bigger than you, you can't move it. But as for that, you generally get the gist of what this mod does, and I don't think I need to explain anything else going on with it. So there'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to play around with it yourself. I highly recommend you because it is a super useful mod. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.